Yeah, talking about people invading your food and that, I know someone, they stuck it on the person, but one of their work colleagues, when they were eating at the table during lunch, they were in the canteen, their work colleague tried to get their fork and put it in the person that I know, put it in their food. It was like, what are you doing? They was just, oh, I'm just joking and that. I said to this individual, they're not joking, they weren't joking. They tried to play it off as they was joking. Yeah. They tried to put their fork in there. He's like, yo, what are you doing? Don't do that. They tried to play off as they was joking. They weren't joking. They were testing them. If that individual did not stick it on them when they tried to put their fork in their food, yo, it would have got worse. They'll be doing dumb stuff like burping in their air or some bullshit like that. They're testing you. One thing I do as well, when I get around new work colleagues, I immediately wait for them to do something dumb so I can stick it on them, because they will test you. People will try to see how far they can push the boundaries. It can be so subtle. I'm an electrician, electrical tester, yeah? So a part of my job is I write down test results. So I have my notes, cooker circuit, this is the test result, socket circuit, this is the test result. So if you're working with another colleague and that, more than likely one person is going to be doing the testing and be shouting out the results. This is the result, write this down. I don't work with anyone, so I work on my own. So I do the testing and the paperwork all myself. They put me to work with one of my work with, he's not my colleague, but he works for the company, yeah? Because I don't technically have colleagues because I don't work with anyone. But they put me to work with some other guy because he was on a big job. It's a massive flat block. We're testing all the lights. It's a two-man job, really three-man job, really and truly, but you can do it in pairs and that. I mean, you can do it on your own, but it's a mission. So they put me to work with this guy. So I had to go and meet him. Yeah. So they said on the notes, go and meet such and such will submit the certificate, because only one person can do it. So I don't know him. I see him one time before, so I don't know him. So I met him, like, hey, what's going on? You good? Yeah, cool, cool. So we're standing in like the meter cupboard where they got all the fuses and that, and the circuit breakers for the lights. So he said to me, all right, what I want you to do, yeah, if you can go and test the lights, and I will stand here and I will do the linking out and you can tell me the test results and that. I said, no. I was like, we'll split it in half. One of us can do half of the testing and the other person will do the other half of the testing. I'm not going to be doing no donkey work, just going around doing the testing, and you're going to do the paperwork. I set him straight. I don't give a fuck if he thinks I'm an arsehole or I'm a cunt. You can think that. I'm not going to be your fucking donkey. So when I get around new people, like new colleagues, I'll use any excuse to stick it on them. Not in an aggressive way, but I will look and wait for them to do something dumb, because I know they're going to try it, because I understand human nature. I'm not saying everyone that you come across they're not trying it in that way, like on a serious violation level. I'm not saying everyone will even try to test you, but more than likely, people will try and push the boundaries just a little bit, just to see how far they can push it. Me, I don't do that to anybody. I don't give a fuck. I get around people. I know I'm a stronger character than them, and I still don't test them. But other people, I don't know why human beings are like this. They feel like they need to see how far they can push it with people. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. But I know what human beings are like. So I will just go into a new environment and I'll just wait for someone to just do something dumb. Just literally waiting for it. Just waiting to see if they're going to push the boundaries and that. Right now, the reason why some of your colleagues step out of line and they don't know boundaries, because you ain't set no fucking boundaries. When you entered the workplace or whatever, you thought, oh, okay, I'm new here. I don't want to upset anyone. Well, fuck everyone, bro. You're going to piss some people off, so be it. I remember I was on one construction site. Obviously, I'm an electrical tester, and there was always like these other electricians working in that. And I remember like, I would disappear and go somewhere else and that. And I remember like a couple times, yeah, like, I would disappear, come back. And one you asked me one time, oh, where did you go? And I said, oh, I just went up there or whatever, innit? And then that was it. And then another time I must have disappeared, come back. And then she said, oh, where did you go? I'm like, bro, why are you asking where I'm going for? Why do you need to know? Like, I'll be abrupt like that. He's like, oh, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool. He didn't want to speak to me after. Cool. Don't ask no fucking questions in the first place. I don't need to continue speaking to someone that asks people dumb questions. Why are you worried about where I'm going? We don't work together. We're working in the same area, but we don't work together. What are you asking me questions for? So yeah, I will fall out with people. Don't give a shit. Don't care. I'm public enemy number one. I will move to a new road and I will fall out with all the neighbors. I don't care. Because why do I care about being friendly with you people? The only reason why I've come into contact and in the same perimeter is just because I so happen to buy this house. So therefore, if I bought a house around the corner, I would never know you. So why do I care about being friends with any of you people? Now, obviously, I don't want, obviously, this would never happen. No one would ever dare throw a brick from my window because they just don't want the consequences. Yeah, they're not ready for what will happen next. But yeah, I don't give a fuck about falling out with people. Everyone around here, nobody likes me because I've had to stick it on 4 people before I even moved in. You're not going to approach me and say, oh, this is where we park with our cars. I don't give a fuck about you lot's tradition. I don't care. Move. I had to stick it on 4 people before I even moved in. I don't give a fuck. Some people will move to a new environment and try to fit in. Don't anger none of the neighbors. Yo, you can't speak to me. You can't speak to me. This is why so many men go jail and they turn Muslim. Like, you know, there were spiritual people and that, but they didn't really have a faith. If they had to lean towards one, they'll say, okay, I'm a Christian just because I'm born in this country and my family, you know, I would get married in a church as opposed to a mosque. I mean, I don't know if Muslim men and women get married in mosque. I'm just assuming they do. But yeah, if they was going to get married, they'll do the traditional Christian wedding and that. A certain man who don't really have no faith, they go prison and they turn Muslim. Not because they were enlightened by the Quran. No, they jumped on the wing, they landed on the wing, they looked around and they saw a bunch of acts and they thought, right, it's get down or lay down. I don't give a fuck. The imam tried to come to my cell. Oh, you know, brother, you want to come? No, not interested. Thank you. I'm an atheist, blood. Not just going to join some religion because I'm scared of not fitting in. There's certain man, when they go to prison, they want to make friends with people. But I didn't try to make friends with no one. Obviously, naturally, you're going to make friends with people. But I had a bunch of guys, they wanted to rush me in prison because I tried to punch up some mute in front of them. I ain't trying to make friends with no one, blood. I don't give a fuck, fam. Public enemy number one.